How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to yet another video. Now today's video, we're going to be getting into a crypto market update. These are going to be coming back daily for you guys. We had some complications earlier, but with all that aside, we're going to be getting into that. And then the next thing we're going to be talking about, per to the title of the video, is how to find gems within the crypto market. Now, we found a couple ourselves, that being Ski Mask Dog and some other tokens as well. Arrowbud, I called very early, sub a cent, I forget what that was, and a bunch of other coins like Treble Swap, which right now is around where we entered. But of course, those of you who would have exited and taken profits, you might not still be interested in, because you've seen, I believe it was a 4x from where we caught it. So amazing to see that. So we're going to be talking about that as well. And yeah, so the first thing, the crypto market update, that being today, January 29th, I believe. Tomorrow will be the 30th. This is a big day for not only crypto markets, but the markets in general. And as you all know what that is the FOMC meeting. The FOMC meeting did occur today. Rate cuts happened, or were talked about, not happened. They were talked about for the remainder of 2025, as well as just the overall macroeconomic landscape for 2025. That was also discussed as well, which of course happens most of the times during these FOMC meetings. So mixed reviews from people. The markets did react actually decently well, at least within the crypto market. So that is positive to see. But honestly, no matter what the news is, you really can't predict what is going to happen with an FOMC meeting. But it's more the fact that, hey, it's interesting within the financial markets, and there's going to be news that does actually impact the markets. Some be it ever so slightly, some be it very badly, or pretty well. So today was a meh reaction. The markets did react positively, just nothing crazy that a lot of people were really hoping for. But yeah, I feel like we're just going to be on this choppiness cycle till stuff starts breaking out. We really haven't seen much happening. Bitcoin dominance continues to reign supreme over everything. The same percentage that it has been. Bitcoin itself around the $100,000 range, hasn't made a move above $110,000 yet. So we're still waiting for stuff like that to happen. Altcoins, besides the very small ones, have barely been seeing pumps. Coin like Aerodrome Finance fell under $1. We actually entered in at 83 cents. Of course, we were able to secure nice profits there. But yeah, stuff like that, guys, we've just kind of been waiting on, and for a while. If you were to just simply park your bags, let's say you bought Aerodrome at 37 cents, and you parked your bags in there and have been waiting for $5, $10, well, of course, you'd still be waiting now, and you'd only be at a 3x instead of selling at 2. So that's one thing within the markets, with utilities specifically. If you're able to get into a utility coin off launch and the markets really aren't ripping like they hopefully will be, the utility coins are rarely going to see drastic movements on the upwards or downwards, right? So with that in mind, it's very key to understand profit rotation, and that's what gets us into the how to find the gems. Now, the first thing that I'm going to always go over whenever you're looking into gems, this is the bare minimum. If you find a coin that seems interesting, and most of the time they're going to come to you. There's going to be opportunities that come to you, whether you hear it on Twitter, whether you hear it from a friend. For me, I heard about Treble Swap from comments on YouTube. The first thing that you're going to want to do is check it on Token Sniffer and understand the tokenomics of the coin. Those are the two things that make the most sense, because you're going to be able to see if there are any flaws in this token in both sides, if there's any security vulnerabilities with their contracts. So for example, you buy in but you can't sell, or for example, a honeypot, I guess. So there's a bunch of different things to look out for, because when you're looking for those low cap gems, there are going to be red flags that do pop up, especially with a lot of them, because of how many there are, that can lead to you getting scammed and literally your entire portfolio being wrecked. So that's one of the biggest dangers when actually looking at these low cap gems, is the fact that there are a lot of security vulnerabilities with them if you're looking at the wrong ones, right? But that's why you do your due diligence and check beforehand. So that's going to be the first thing, right? is really understanding and looking at projects that come across you, because I've had more projects that have came across my table that I've had to look into myself rather than me actively looking for them. They have just came to me and I've looked into them and then done my own decisions from that point. And that's exactly why, none of this is financial advice, by the way. You should always make sure to do your own research. So yeah, I mean, realistically, let's say I get a coin like Ski Mask Dog. The first thing I'm doing, if I have no idea what the token is, I'm checking it on Token Sniffer. If it has a very good score, great. Then we'll proceed with the other checks. Next check is tokenomics. Are the tokenomics not wonky? Is there no huge token unlocks? Does a wallet not hold 90% of the supply? And if so, why? You know, stuff like that. And there's a lot of key terminology. And a whole separate video would have to be made on tokenomics for you to really understand the whole scope of them, because tokenomics is very broad and there are a lot of things that you have to look into. Thankfully, you can easily access information on tokenomics and scan an entire project with some software that will tell you all the pros and cons of the tokenomics. I mean, you can even do it with ChatGPT if you really want to. So that's something to keep in mind. But yeah, so besides you actually having those projects come across your plate, one thing that literally has made me the most amount of money, and this is both within the projects that have came across my table, but also the lessons that I've had to learn, is through information. What we've been talking about, of course, we talked about if a token comes across, checking it, and etc. We haven't gotten really into how to find them, but the best way to find them is looking towards people who are way wealthier than you and have access to way more information than you. And that's why we're gonna be talking about Kaizen today. Now, again, I do not promote anything on this channel besides Kaizen, because I've had the duty and the ability to stay in Kaizen for 2 weeks before I said a word that I was in it on this channel, because I was able to get access into there to see if it would provide value for you, the viewer. And I spent 2 weeks in there and made the most amount of money, genuinely, that I've ever made within my entirety of my crypto profession, or whatever you want to call it. So that's why I promote this so much, because it actually has value. A lot of people see these groups and they, for some reason, isolate themselves from them and call these cabal groups or whatever the case is, right? But no, genuinely, there are people from all ranges of portfolios, people just looking to gain access to information. And we've gone over the benefits of being in Kaizen. First of all, Ski Mask Dog was called below a cent. Could you imagine getting in that below a cent and selling at 30 cents? Exactly, right? Crow was called way, way, way below a cent as well. So there were a lot of plays there that I didn't even have access to. I didn't have access to Ski Mask Dog below a cent because I wasn't even in there. I was able to get in at 3 cents, even on Brian's free YouTube videos. Let me clarify for that. He called Aerodrome Finance, a token that I got in at 60 cents earlier last year off of his YouTube video. He called it in his group at 8 cents, guys. So there are a lot of opportunities for placing yourself within those individuals who have access, like I said, to a lot of information, who do so much work. I mean, they have a whole dedicated research team in there who are constantly looking for undervalued projects that all of Kaizen has been able to take advantage of. And I mean, literally, if you're approaching it from the mindset of, oh, it's $200 a month, well, the $200 a month that you're spending is going to definitely pay off. If you're, like, for example, if you bought Ski at sub a cent, at like 0.002 cents, that's a fifth of a cent. If 5x to a cent, you literally put 20 bucks in, then you have half your month paid for at a cent, then it goes to 10 cents. Well, then you just did a 50x off of, what was that, 20 bucks? Now you're at $1,000. It's 5 months paid for that you continue to use, and there's plays almost every month. So that's why I'm promoting this. And it's not only Kaizen, guys. You can literally look for any other group that has a strong crypto community. Don't join any scam ones, of course, but look for just areas where you can get information. There's a lot of free information on the internet as well, but there definitely are benefits of getting access to professionals who literally are working with 6, 7, and even 8-figure net worths in just crypto alone. So that's why I promote this so much. Again, they are on a wait list. I always have it in the link in the description. However, if you want to have a chance and potentially get through that wait list, I have the ability to potentially have that happen. So DM me on Instagram if that's something that you actually want to do. I've helped a couple of you guys get into Kaizen there, and I've seen the success that you guys have had yourself, which is awesome to see. It's awesome to see that. But yeah, really heavy on that. And just to separate from Kaizen, the whole point is getting access to information from those who have more of it. That's it. Because then you start to network with people. It's just a networking game. The more people you know, the more information you have. And so if you're in a bunch of different groups, well, then you have access to a bunch of different information. So instead of getting a couple plays from Kaizen every month, well, because you're in 4 groups that each give a couple plays a month, now you have 8 plays every single month instead of having those 2 you have from Kaizen. And let's say they're all different. You have 8 different plays that, let's say there's a 80% chance that each of them hits, and you throw 1,000 into each of them, and they're, one's a 10x, one's a 2x, one really doesn't do anything. The point is, you have access to information. It literally is an information game within crypto and an emotions game. So that's what I'm going to be promoting the most to you guys. And then from there, you'll be able to understand researching and stuff like that. I mean, like Kaizen even has how to find projects, literally how to find DeFi projects, how to find meme coin projects. So stuff like that, definitely keep an eye on. But yeah, I'd say X, you can find stuff too. It's really just combing and combing and combing. That's how I've been able to do it. Look at the free information presented in front of you and then do your due diligence in checking them out. A lot of what's going to happen for people who find projects severely early is they just, again, have access to the information. A lot of developers of projects will want to promote their projects, so they'll talk to influencers and other people in order to promote the project. Ski Cat's team reached out to me trying to promote their project, and through there, those people are able to hear about those projects early and check them out, do their own due diligence. Some people will promote you scams, of course. I didn't even promote Ski Cat because of their tokenomics. But yeah, it's all just a networking game. I'm just going to keep it simple with you guys. It's all a networking game. For those of you looking to do meme coin trade, how to snipe those meme coins, yeah, I mean, is there skill involved with that? Sure, but most of the time it's gambling. And some guys, even with like very successful meme coin traders, have also said the same thing. So again, with that in mind, the whole point of this video is to just go over the fact that networking is going to be your best friend. You don't have to physically talk to the people, but getting access to information. Again, there's people on X who are giving you guys insane plays simply for free, just posting their trades, and you can capitalize off that. I've posted trades on X that have 2, 4, 10x just for free. Like, I don't require any payment necessary for that. So look for accounts, look for people that can do that, and then start asking them how they do it. If you guys want to be honest or want me to be honest, like I said, anything that comes across my table, whether that be Treble Swap, whether that be Ski, I'll do my due diligence and check it with all my checks, tokenomics check, their white paper, their roadmap, their team behind them. So those are some things you can look at, but I'm not actively looking for projects. If a project comes across the table for me, I'll look into it. And from there, that's where I've seen the most success. I have not had the need to go and look for projects because they just come across my table anyways. So that is the whole purpose of that. Sure, there are ways to find projects, right? And again, those are very technical ways that most of the time it's very, very risky doing it that way. But with people already doing the work, you really just need to do your due diligence, check them out, and if everything seems to check out, go for it. So with all that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next video as always.